Willie D Live.
What's up, family? We got a white man in Atlanta, Georgia, who became so enraged with a black security guard that he called him the N-word. Check it out.
Get out of here.
I'm gonna kick the shit out of you. You can do it now? Yeah. Take a shot, mother.
Get out of here.
Yeah, I'm a citizen, you fat shithead. You're a nigger.
Hell no.
You're a nigger.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, you good.
Okay. What are you gonna do? It's free speech. You fat, ugly shithead.
Sorry.
Fire!
He was so enraged. I'm thinking to myself, perhaps, just perhaps, if he could get some help, some mental help, perhaps, he wouldn't be out in the streets like that, behaving in such a manner. It's really sad. Let's address the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room is him saying that he is an American citizen as if the black dude is not. I know some of y'all really don't know this, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Black people were here first. You see what I'm saying? Black people were here first. Let's get that straight. Just because you did, or your ancestors did some barbaric stuff and tricked people into befriending them and then raping and pillaging and killing everything that they had in sight and taking everything does not mean that they were here first. You know what I mean? It's like, like maybe going on somebody's property, running up in their house and killing everybody and then claiming the house is yours because they couldn't defend themselves against you, whatever, family. I mean, I think you're picking up what I'm putting down. But in any event, the past is the past. Let's leave it in the past. It's interesting that every time we try, here they come. Shoe fit wear. Not talking about everybody, but shoe fit wear, right? This guy called him the N-word as if the N-word was a bullet or a spear or a knife, a hammer or something, right? At this point, the N-word is no different from being called the B-word or the H-word or any other derogatory word. It's just a derogatory word and it don't have the sting that they think it does. It has lost esteem. I don't know. I know some of y'all, I know I got a few racists listening to me right now. And look, man, it don't have the same punch it used to, because also now, you can get punched out. You just can't do what your ancestors used to be able to do and get away with it. Like, you're gonna have to have, if you do that, you gotta make sure you got the deck stacked, like y'all normally do, try to make sure you got size, numbers, or weaponry. Other than that, you're gonna take an L. You gotta go find somebody to bully because picking on somebody your size or bigger don't work for y'all. It just don't work. That's why you gun down innocent DoorDash drivers who drive up in your driveway, mistakenly drive into your driveway. You dig what I'm saying? Anyway, fam, moving on. Okay, so the guy's a security guard. And it appeared to me that maybe he had some type of authority because he had on a security uniform and he had a gun and he was working in the capacity of law enforcement, right? So I'm thinking that why didn't he just do what law enforcement people do? Why didn't he just make contact? Why didn't he do that? And I can tell you that he was waiting on Buddy to strike because of the double standards that exist in this country. If he would have hit him first, it would probably have been a lawsuit and some other problems. He probably would have even went to jail. Now, you flip the script and you let that be a white security guy and a black dude doing all that, you probably could have gunned him down and nothing would have happened. See, the brother didn't gun him down because he was a good guy or anything. He didn't gun him down because he knew that would be consequences to his actions. He didn't pistol whip him. He didn't stomp him out because he knew that would be consequences to his action, negative consequences. Whereas a white dude probably would have done that. And even if he would have been held accountable, the GoFundMe would have been crazy. They probably would have made him a millionaire. Why is all that money coming from anyway? I'm like wondering where they getting all that money from for all of these people that are committing these racist acts. They're like rewarding bad behavior. They get money left and right. Shit, I'm thinking about putting on whiteface, man, and going out there and calling somebody the N-word and lose my job or something. Get me a little old GoFundMe going on. Like, they reward bad behavior. They don't even understand how that's counterproductive to their movement or whatever they believe in. They don't even understand. I think they're just so wrapped up in that racist ideology that they don't care how the chips fall. They don't care how the chips fall. They don't care how it looks. They're proud. You heard what he said. He said, I'm a racist. I'm a racist. They're proud to be degenerates. So let's look at one of the other points that the uncivilized mutt made. He said that I have free speech. Free speech is cool. Free speech, that's a good thing, But you should absolutely be aware that consequences come with free speech. Even in your own household. Think about it. When you was a kid, you were a kid, you had free speech, but you couldn't say whatever you wanted to say. You could say whatever you wanted to say, but there would be consequences if you said the wrong thing in front of your mom and your dad, right? There's always consequences. You got free speech, but depending on what you said while you were in school, who you said to, there could be some severe consequences for your actions. Now, out on these streets, when you're dealing with strangers, you don't even know what type of person you're dealing with. You don't really know what that person been through. You don't know what type of day that person is having. You don't know if that person has said to themselves, the next time somebody try me, the next time somebody get on my nerve, man, I'm going out. I'm going all the way out. You don't know that. This is why you should be very careful when you're driving on those roads out there and doing all that flipping the bird and yelling at people and excessively blowing your horn. Man, you don't know what type of people you're dealing with out there. Especially when somebody is really, really aggressive, like just overly aggressive. You got to be extremely careful because usually when somebody is like overly aggressive, it is a signal that they are prepared. And oftentimes, because everybody got a gun these days, they're strapped, they're ready. So you gotta be careful out there, man. You don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know what people is going through, what they've been through. So you gotta have grace. I don't know what set Buddy off, but he seemed like the type that acts like that all the time. He seemed like the type that if you go out with him mess around, you get your ass whooped hanging out with him. He said that he have freedom of speech. Yeah, we got freedom of speech, but there are consequences. But also, freedom of speech you have, but that freedom of speech has limitations because you can't use freedom of speech to incite violence. You cannot threaten people with violence. And he did do that. So, Buddy could have really got down on him if he really understood his rights, if he really knew the law. Ain't that something like a lot of guys that wear those uniforms, they really don't know the law. Some of them don't even try to know the law. They just know they got that badge and that gun on, and then they take off on you. But anyway, final point. Self-control. He better than me. The security guard was better than me. I'm talking about his patience it was absolutely incredible. Couldn't have been me. Couldn't have been me. I would have absolutely made contact. I would have absolutely made contact because in my mind, he's probably done this an overwhelming amount of times. And this is where the buck stops. I got to teach him a lesson so that I can protect the next young brother out there who may come across him. You see, you got to give them some hesitation. If they ain't got no hesitation, man, they just run rampant. And that's what happened with a lot of these Karens. They've never been challenged. They've never been put in their place. You know, I was just thinking, the racism doesn't exist anymore, and the Black MAGA crowd sure has been quiet lately. I wonder why. No more talk.